Another effect of the Taliban's new policies toward the Arabs was the closure of the Khalden camping post. Khalden, it had been operating since the late 1980s and was the longest running training camp for Arabs in Afghanistan. According to Mustafa Hamid, Khalden was situated in a volatile border area that was subject to clashes between the Pakistani forces and local tribes, forcing the Arabs in the end to evacuate the camp. Abu Zubaydah said that he requested help from bin Laden in reopening the camp. Bin Laden refused. Abu Zubaydah later thought that bin Laden may have convinced the Taliban to permanently close the camp, but it is unlikely that bin Laden had much sway over the Taliban in such matters. More likely, the Taliban refused to protect the camp because it was situated too close to the Afghan-Pakistani border. This would be in line with the Taliban's policies at the time of moving training camps from the periphery to areas under tighter Taliban control. The purpose was not so much to control what was going on in the camps, but to ensure that the Arabs kept a low profile to not cause diplomatic embarrassment for the Taliban. Khalden camp was hardly low profile. It had long been rumored to be a terrorist training camp, and it was easy to conduct surveillance of the camp due to its location on the Afghan-Pakistani border. Taliban may have supported the Khalden camp if it had been moved to a different location, but neither Ibn al-Sheikh al-Libi nor Abu Zubaydah pursued the matter further. They continued to live in Afghanistan, keeping a low profile, and we know little of their activities after the closure of Khalden. Leaked U.S. intelligence information suggests that Ibn Sheikh al-Libi ran a guest house in Kabul in the years 2000 and 2001. This is partly corroborated by Abu Zubaydah's diaries. Abu Zubaydah moved to Afghanistan in mid-2000 and continued to be involved with the Arab community. He is vague detailing his activities, however, fearing his diaries may sometimes end up in the wrong hands, which they ultimately did. Abu Zubaydah and Ibn Sheikh al-Libi both joined in the campaign to defend Afghanistan from the U.S.-led invasion in 2001, working alongside al-Qaeda's men. This was not uncommon, as many other independent Arabs did the same. The truth about Abu Zubaydah's connection to al-Qaeda will probably never be fully known. Just to note, in 2009, before a Guantanamo Bay tribunal hearing, the CIA admitted that Abu Zubaydah was not part of al-Qaeda, nor was he a fighter for al-Qaeda. From 2000, the Taliban sought to regulate the activities of Arab training camps in Afghanistan. Al-Qaeda went furthest in complying with the demands of the Taliban, moving the Al-Farouk camp to the deserts outside Kandahar, establishing a central registration office for new recruits, and maintaining an integral security organization to arrest and interrogate suspected spies. These changes came as al-Qaeda was about to expand its organization and bring in hundreds of new recruits from the Arabian Peninsula. Ultimately, the Taliban's policies toward the Arab camps were of great benefit to al-Qaeda. They allowed al-Qaeda to gain a dominant position among the Arabs and ensured that al-Qaeda continue and expand its training project in Kandahar. Al-Qaeda's frontline participation with the Taliban, which is the topic of the next chapter, further strengthening al-Qaeda's efforts at building a resilient organization in Afghanistan.